And the idea to not carry so much thing is like, if you don't have anything in your pocket, if you have little or anything, you just go with people.
Exactly.
And that's the most important part of my journey, because if I have money, a lot of money, I'll go to the hostels or maybe hotels and I stay there. I'll be isolating myself from the society.
Right.
So that's the idea, like to go as minimum as possible. And so
it's experiences, more about
because every day you experience the humanity, like knocking the doors. I go 5 different houses, knock the doors and ask them, can I stand in front of your home? I have a tent with me. So the plan was to ride a bicycle across the world, traveling across the world on bicycle. So that was the initial plan. So I started 2016 in November from Gandhi's ashram in Wardha. It's the center of India where Gandhiji started his own community center, and still it's like still in operation. They like unmarried people, like serving society and finding their spiritual way of life. So I started from there, and so I was having nothing because I work as a peace activist. I was not earning anything, just for food and stay. So I was in one of the ashram of Gandhi, and one friend from China, one boy from China, he rode a bicycle from China to India, and we just met, and I was with this plan that I'm going to travel across the world. So he said, take my bicycle.
Wow, and that's all you had at that time?
Yeah, some Protestant priest, woman priest, she offered her sleeping bag. Someone gave me a backpack, and that's how I start my journey. And there is some organizations who are supporting me throughout the journey. And so I started in India, then I went to Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, China, Hong Kong, Japan. In Japan, I feel because of this nuclear weapon was used in first time in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, so I decided to walk there. That was my first walk, and I think so that's changed. Like that's what I think so my inspiration. Next part of my journey was walking. So okay. I walked Tokyo to Hiroshima, and that was like mind-blowing journey. Like staying in mountains, rivers, and
I bet, yeah.
And that was walking, so it was very powerful. I was eating meat before that. I become vegetarian because that was my spiritual experience. I got that we are the same animals and human beings, so should not be how discriminate against them. So after Japan, I went to South Korea, Okinawa, where I protest against US Air Base, and then South Korean Army, and then went to America. Then I ride a bicycle from America, from all the way from New York to Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, Ecuador, Peru.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that was a bicycle. That was an incredible journey with especially in Colombia, where I met Native Americans to understand their spiritual practices, and was remarkable. Like I found like the way of life is very wise. So that was South America. Then I flew to South Africa, and that's where I began my walk journey. So people from Japan and India, they joined the walk from South Africa. We followed the footsteps of Gandhi and Mandela. And it was a special occasion of 150 years of Mahatma Gandhi and 100 years of Nelson Mandela. So I walked from South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Tanzania, Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya, Ethiopia, Sudan, Egypt, and that's the end of South Africa. I flew to UK. I walked from Glasgow to London 2 months to celebrate 150 years, 2nd October 2019 in London Parliament Square. And then Ireland, North Ireland, South Ireland, Germany, Portugal, Spain, Georgia, where I got stuck for 4-6 months. I didn't meet, but the other is Satish Kumar, and inspired by Mahatma Gandhi's and Vinoba Bhave's non-violence movement, and they walked from India to Paris, and for I think so 3 years they walked without money.
Wow!
In 1970s, when there was a Cold War, so their idea was to offer a tea bag to the nuclear power states, the presidents of these countries, like some of in Russia, in Britain, in France, and in America. Once they think that they're going to use a nuclear weapon, tell them that before using this weapon, please drink a tea and calm your... My story is inspired by Buddha, Gautama the Buddha. So I was 16. So in my home, in India we got like a lot of religions, like Hindu, Muslim, Christian. So my family, my father he used to practice like Ramadan in Islam. So we used to celebrate Eid in my home, even though my family is Hindu. My mother is practice Christianity. My grandmother practiced Sikhism. So like in one wall is like all God. But that's just like my home story. But I went to school and the school has different story about science. So I found more conviction, like more belief in the science. So I said, if there is no God, then what is meaning to our life? So that's how this. I think this is like triggering part of my journey.
Got it.
And then through inspiration of Buddha, like he was on the same path. Like what is meaning to our life? And it's very common in India, like to have this question. And then
Right.
I got inspired by his story, and I left my home at the age of 16.
Okay.
But it was just one night I spent out, and then next day come back home because I was not that mature or strong enough mentally. And so back home, I become engineer. I worked 6 months in telecom, and then I said no, it's not my way of life. So I quit my job and I work as a peace activist in the Gandhian organization. So that's how I got connection with Mahatma Gandhi and his ideas and the independence movement, and how it's important to fight of non-violence.
Wow. Okay.
As you know, the billions of people, the independence movement, they follow Gandhi, and they follow with the non-violence. So that was never happened in human history. Whole human history, we never seen such examples, such stories. That's and after his movement, a lot of non-violence movements across the world, like Martin Luther King, Mandela, and Aung San Suu Kyi right now, like so many people